Single shaming and how to get over it. Hello, my name is Chengi, and you, my precious one, of course, are my world. Welcome to Chengi'S World, right here where I teach you ladies how to present as a high value, high status, high worth woman that men find completely irresistible. At least high value men anyway. Okie dokie. So if you're new to my channel, do not forget to subscribe, like, share, comment, and hit that notification bell so that you are informed every single time I upload a video. So here we are talking about single shaming. We've all at some point as a single woman, for one reason or the other, have come into a scenario, a situation where we have felt invalidated or felt shamed or called out or disrespected because we're at a certain age and we are not married. I am not going to lie to you. I was a married woman for 13 years, and I've got to be honest, I was saying to a friend of mine, that is the cheapest, quickest way to dignity, respect, and honor. If you want people to honor you and give you respect that you have not earned, that you do not necessarily deserve. I was 19 years old, but allowed into rooms and into situations and places that I would have never been allowed into if I were not a missus. Being a missus meant that I could be in rooms with grown-ups and people that ordinarily, as a single girl at the age of 19, I would have never ever had the opportunity. And in life and in the world we live in, even when I go to the bank and it's Mrs., it was Mrs. Tobin at the time, it was like, you feel good, and the way people treat you is as though you are responsible and you are safe and you are important. And guess what? I don't have a problem with that at all. I believe that married women work very hard to keep that MRS title. Okay, there's a lot of sacrifice behind that title, a lot of secrets untold behind that title, a lot of tolerance behind that title. There are a lot of things behind that title that personally I am happy to not have to be putting in or never intend on putting in, because I would never put myself in the position where I was defending a title and a state of life more than I was really truly enjoying life with somebody. And so having had both experiences and being the single girl and understanding how people just speak to you any kind of way, and it doesn't help when you're like me and you look younger than your age. And when I was newly divorced, I obviously looked even younger. So people thought they were talking to a little girl. And even sometimes I'm in certain rooms and I find people talk to me like they're talking to a little girl, like they're talking to a little girl. And I'm thinking, if only you knew, baby, if only you knew, right? And when you are single and you don't have a ring on your finger, a lot of assumptions are made about you. Assumptions that you might be desperate. Assumptions, everyone's like, I would introduce you to my brother, but he's married. And I'm thinking, well, what makes you think I would be interested in your brother? But there's sometimes a lot of assumptions made that because you're single, you'll take anything or anyone. And when your friends are trying to hook you up, they always hook you up with guys that you think, well, really? Seriously? Gives a break. That said, I have had a lot of friends introduce me to guys that are amazing, but and sort of relationships are pushed on you, and so it can become really draining. If you come from an African household at an age, you're better off marrying an ex-murderer than being single. And I'm sure that's true of certain households too. There seems to be an accompanying shame with being a single woman, but I don't hate on that either. I'm not angry at that either. I believe that a lot of people have good intentions. I believe that a lot of the comments and a lot of the pressure that comes along is usually with good intentions. I mean, even myself as a dating and relationship expert, a lot of people will decide whether or not they will follow or give credence to my work based on my status. if she's single, why would you listen to her, right? These are things that I still come across, even as a professional, even as somebody who really is read and educated and informed and experienced in helping people find love and really knowing how to direct that and allowing other people to win. Sometimes just the fact that I'm single for some people means that they can't follow my channel or they can't respect. And there was a season and a time when I felt really pressured to prove that I could do the number. And then what we do, all of us, for when we allow that shame game into our lives, when we allow other people to shame us, and the only way we are shamed, no one can make you feel ashamed. Taking responsibility for your emotions is the most empowering thing you can do. People cannot make you feel anything. You feel what you feel because there's a landing strip. A plane doesn't just land, it has to have a landing strip. So it's the unresolved issues that we have within ourselves that need us to work on them, so that people, when they do speak to us and address a certain way, we don't take it to heart because it's got nowhere to land. It hasn't got a landing strip. And I really wanted to do this video because so many of us are making bad relationship decisions because we want to take the shame off our head, right? As we would say in Africa, take the shame off my head, right? We want to take the shame away, but the shame is not something that is being given to you by other people. And the shame is not something that a man will take away. The shame has to do with our internal wiring and our internal system. And it's when it cost me almost everything trying to deal with the shame, that I realized that this is a dangerous mindset and condition to carry on the inside of us, because it's going to create a different kind of shame. You see, if you don't deal with shame, shame begets shame, and everything you do to get rid of shame, everything you do to get rid of shame is only going to bring in more shame. We get rid of shame by being a person who hasn't got any apologies for the decisions and the choices they have made in their lives, who takes responsibility and thinks, actually, I am here because of the things that I've chosen to focus on, the decisions I've chosen to make, and I've made all of those decisions knowingly that was a priority for me at that time. Yes, I was ignorant about certain other things. Yes, I went off rails. Yes, I believed lies and weird things that were told to me in and out of church or wherever. Yes, but I am not a victim. I am not unlucky. I made decisions, and those decisions mean I am single. Now, I can make a different set of decisions and not be single. I can make great decisions and not just not be single, but be a happily married, happily courting person. And the problem is, it's about that self-ownership. It's about saying, I had to sit down with myself and say, Chengi, the truth is, you've had more proposals than most women. Some women have never ever had a man propose to them. Chengi, you've had tons of proposals. So you're not single because of what people want to say to you about your singleness. You're single because you're choosing to be single. And when the light bulb went off and I realized, yeah, I actually am. I have so many options in my DMs, all everywhere. I am not a hard sell because it's what I do. Men come naturally to me. And now that I understand I'm more high value, this is not an issue of scarcity. This is an issue of choice, and realizing that as a single woman, you can choose to be single, not indefinitely or forever, but you can actually live a single life as a matter of choice. Not because you want unlucky love, not because you couldn't find love, not because things are just not working out for you, but because you choose to enjoy and to celebrate and to explore yourself as a single person. And I realized that for so much of my life, I'd never really truly been single. There was always a husband or a relationship playing itself out in my background. There was always someone. And I had never actually said, I want to be single. I want to be single. That's what I want right now. And I'm going to be single in the midst of options. And I'm going to be single when I can be in a position where I don't have to be. And I'm going to learn to embrace my season of singleness. And I'm going to be single until what resonates with me, what is on my frequency, what is for me, presents itself, and identify it. And I'm like, that is it, right? And I'm going to continue to be single till then. And that is the most empowering thing. You cannot shame me for a decision I make, but you can shame me for bad luck. You can shame me for bad positioning. You can shame me for other things, but you can never shame me for a decision I have made over my life, or for decisions that I have made. If you are trying to date Mr. Wrong, clinging on to a relationship that died a million years ago, trying to just date somebody just so that people in your family or in your world would just stop talking about it, that person, they might stop them talking for a season, but guess what's gonna happen? You're gonna get divorced. You're gonna break up. You're gonna have a tumultuous relationship. And that's going to keep people talking. And that's a different kind of shame. That's the kind of shame that has women living in prisons that they call marriage. They're so ashamed because they just married somebody because they were tired or they were ready to have kids or whatever. And they're in these homes, terrorized, emotionally dying in these prison cells that they call marriages, but hiding the shame because the shame of singleness never left. It just converted itself into a relationship, then converted itself into a marriage. He cheats and he does this, and or he's abusive, or there's no love between them, and they can't seem to understand one another, and you just die in that shame. And what I want for my high value women is to have high value relationships, meaningful relationships, wonderful relationships that bring joy and create and harness purpose in both people, so that God's will can be done over all of their lives and that they can live in their divine calling. That can't happen if we start off as single women allowing the seed of shame, the seed of guilt, the seed of unworthiness to be stuck in us. And as long as we are pointing fingers and saying, stop single shaming me, stop, I actually don't like those phrases, fat shaming, single shaming. Those things for me are, you may as well call them blaming. I'm going to blame you for making me feel this way. I'm going to blame the world for making me feel this way. When actually the way I feel is my business, okay? The way I feel about me, that has always been my business. That's not your business. That's my business. And when I know I am high value, and I know I am high worth and high self-esteem, and I know my worth, then I'm here because I choose to be here. I'm here because I have a situation with God that we're trying to work out here in these streets. But I'm okay being here at 40, at 50, at 60, at 70, at 80. I'm okay being here. And so you can't shame me when I'm contented. And it's really important because I feel that this video is for so many of you ladies who are just dying under the burden of shame. You're dying under the burden of this shame that you're single and nobody wants you. And I know, I've been in church services where pastors have said, you are single and nobody wants you, nobody's coming, and you're dating all this but nobody's coming because you need to break this curse and you need to break that, or you need to do this. And all of that gives us the mindset that we are in some way broken, in some way unsure. The truth of the matter is the world has changed, dating has changed, the game has changed, and we need to invest time, invest money, invest ourselves into understanding, learning, and growing, which is what you're doing on this channel. But if you feel like, no, Chengi, I want to invest some more. I want to be where you are. I want to be high value, content, growing, understanding what's going on, and powerful within myself, then visit my website, chengi'sworld.co.uk/shop, and you will see all of the investment I am making in you, the videos I have done, the trainings I've done, the masterclasses I've done. And you can download any of those to make sure that your game is strong and that you're truly single, not because you're making mistakes, not because you don't understand what's going on, but you're single because even though you can make it happen on your own, you choose your state of life, and when you're ready to change it, you will be in a position to change it, not to appease the talkers, but to please yourself, to please God, and to be in alignment with destiny and purpose. I look forward to seeing you on my next video, but in the meantime, angel, do take care of you. Love you lots. Bye bye now.